Hey guys! So you might have seen our videos on our all Disney official princesses bad role models, which we split into two parts. Part one on Snow White, Cinderella, Aurora, Ariel, Belle, and Jasmine, and part two is on Pocahontas, Mulan, Tiana, Rapunzel, Merida, and Moana. If you haven't watched them, then check it out right now. When we recorded this debate, the total footage added up to just under 3 hours. And the part one and part two videos only add up to just under 50 minutes of footage. So we've decided to release a separate video for each of the princesses to show you all our points for each princess. So we aren't missing anything out. Hope you guys enjoy it. For this video, the princess we'll be focusing on is Snow White.
Okay, so as much as I do appreciate Snow White and how great a film it was, there is a very slight issues I think everyone noticed. Now, in the film, we understand that she is a 14-year-old girl who went into a stranger's house and no idea what to do. She just slept in it without permission, and she decided to stay there with 7 old men. That's not right. If you think about it, having a child with 7 strangers. No, I can't. I wouldn't allow that for any child to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's what makes her a bad role model. That the fact that she went into a stranger's house and then she takes food from strangers. She took food from the evil queen. Like, why would you do that? She invited a stranger into the house as well. Like, even though Doc told her beware of strangers, she still did it. So I think that is why she is a bad role model, but she is also a good role model because there is also stuff that she has done that, you know, has positive messages to kids and whoever's watching it. So one of it is that she does show that there is goodness in everyone if you look hard enough. So the huntsman is like sent to kill her by the queen, and he sees her and he's like about to kill her, but then he sees her kind nature with the animals, and then he's like, hold on, I can't do this. There's goodness in her. So she shows us that there is goodness in everybody, and we should show that, you know. And
Yeah,
sometimes we just need a reminder.
He didn't kill her because of a goodness. He didn't kill her because she was a child, and you do feel more guilty about trying to kill a child than an adult.
But we don't know that for sure. Specifically what the image showed was that she was literally talking to some animals, and no, she wasn't even an animal. It was like a little bird, and the little bird was like lost. It couldn't find its mum or dad, and she was like, let me find your mum and dad. So that is obviously showing her kindness and her goodness within. So she was obviously showing something that he saw, and he was like, hold on, I can't kill her. Okay, so maybe she is a kid, so maybe that was a reason. But on top of that, he saw that she had some good qualities, and it would be such a waste to kill someone for like no reason. He saw that the evil queen was evil, so, you know, kind of there. And like, she also asks for help. So that part where she's like lost in the forest, and, you know, she was like running away from the huntsman, she shows that, you know, it's actually okay to ask for help. You know, something that actually I think everybody should think about. It's okay to, you know, get lost in the woods or anywhere and just go, sorry, can you help me with this?
It's kind of realistic because you can't get help from bunnies and deers and birds.
But it doesn't. I'm not saying go to a little deer on the road and go.
No, she didn't went to the deer. She just sang a song and they came to her.
But it's not that. It's that the fact that that message can be translated into something in the real world. Because a lot of the stuff that we see in these princess films are fictional. There's talking animals, there's glowing hair, there's a magic carpet. That stuff does not exist, but they stand for something. So, yeah, I mean, another way is that, so the whole issue that the evil queen had with Snow White was that she was the fairest of them all. But what Snow White shows is that even though she might be the fairest of them all, it's not what the outside like matters, it's what's inside. So she kind of shows that, you know, you should think about not just what's on the outside, but what's on everybody's inside as well, and just see them for that kind of person. So I think there's a lot of positive messages as well that she portrays, even though there are things that like the strangest part of it. I admit that is not showing a good thing at all. But perhaps you could interpret that to say that, you know, children do see that, you know, that she letting in the evil queen was a bad thing. So maybe
But
they'll
so-
go, oh, that's a bad thing. So maybe she's showing that, and then they see that, and they think, hold on, I shouldn't let a stranger in. I shouldn't accept food from a stranger. So there's also that kind of thing as well.
But it's also about like you said, she also shows like mistrust. She didn't even know the George, and she still decided to stay there over one night. I mean, they could have been psychopaths for all we know. But she still trusted and decided to stay with them. That just shows how naive she is. And also, one thing that does annoy me, I know this is old, it's an old film, but you can't just say you fell in love with someone in 1 second. Because here's a few things. For the prince, she doesn't know his name, she doesn't know where he came from, and she doesn't know how old he is. What does that say to kids? Oh, hey, she's a 14, and you say, hey, you know what? There's a 21-year-old. Go and hang with it. You might be fall in love with it in first song. Come on. That just shows kids, no matter what age, even if they look nice, just go for it.
And that is why I think she's a mix. That's why I think she's also a good and a bad role model. I'm not saying that she's completely good, because that would be a lie, because I can see that there are bad points, but I can see that there's a mix, that she's both. Maybe she is actually more bad, but there are some positive messages from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs that I think that we can all like take away and remember, like, you know, asking for help, seeing the goodness in people.
No, but she also represents the stereotype of like a housewife or something. Like she always cleans, she always tidy up, she always cooks. That's a stereotype of what men used to think women should do. And the more she repeats it to other kids, the more they get the idea of like, that's what women should do. That's their gender stereotype. That's what.
As much as I'm against that and everything, for that time period when it was first released, that was what women were expected. So at that time, she was being a good role model for what girls
She
were
did nothing
expected to be.
else, but she did.
That's what was expected of women, though. And as much as
He,
we're all against that, that
was the
what
norm.
she was portraying
that's the
for their norm.
bad stereotype. That's the bad.
there's nothing
It is a
we
bad
can do
stereotype,
about
but
that
for
now.
for that time and the time period it was released in, it was setting a good role model for younger girls. Well,
Well, that's what I'm
But
saying.
what
That's
can
what's
be done
so bad
now? But what can be done now is that when parents are watching these films with their kids, they can go, like, see, like, watch this and just understand that actually women should not be expected to do this or that. You know, we live in
see
a
how
different
far
society.
women have come from.
I think
where
it's
we
actually a
used to
good
be.
teaching point, actually. So even though it is a bad, you know, message and everything, that a woman's place is in the kitchen, she should be cleaning, she should be doing this and that, I think that, you know, kids nowadays can take away the message that women aren't that anymore.
But then
We've come so far.
But then she also expects her Prince Charming to come and always rescue her. Like after that first moment she met, doesn't know who the hell he is, and then she just suddenly expects that they're gonna have a happily ever after, or that he's always gonna come to her rescue, or that just tell kids never to depend on yourself, depend on others to help you. I mean, truthfully, she ate the poison apple. That was her mistake. But the dwarves tried to help her. The prince saved her. What did she do to herself? No, nothing. She's the one that got herself into this mess. What does that say?
I think it does show that kids, it's not a bad thing to ask for help. And like, you can get help from other people. Don't bear it all on your own. But at the same time, don't eat food that strangers give you, you know? If some old woman comes up to you with a basket of fruit and she's like, here, eat this apple.
No, how naive was she to believe that it was a
Don't do it.
wishing apple, whatever?
I mean, she was 14. She's still a kid. She's
Yeah,
grown up
14.
in
I
a
14. I
royal
was,
environment. She's been very protected from her surroundings. So she is going to be naive. And she is going to eat the apple. But she learned from that. And she won't be eating
but
any
she's
strangers'
so.
fruits.
But she just.
Hopefully.
But she
Hopefully.
trusts her straight away. Exactly. She just trusts her. Exactly. She trusts the dwarfs in a snap. She trusts the prince in a snap. She did the same with the old lady. I mean, that just.
Yes, but should we just be focusing on the bad points and why she's a bad role model when there is like good points as well? I feel like we should be like learning from the bad stuff and going, actually,
Okay,
this is
what's
not
the good
okay.
stuff
What
of
not
trusting
to
her?
do.
Okay, what's the
Yeah.
good stuff of trusting a witch where she was been told not to do, not to let strangers in? She ignored that. Not to say
And
the
then
thing
it
is,
shows us
she
the
ignored that.
consequences of what happens if you do that. So kids will learn not to do that. They won't let strangers in because they've seen what happens when you do.
they will
Yeah, but
understand stranger danger.
No, but see, if they do that, say like they get hurt or something, they probably think like, oh, Snow White was rescued, I will do the same thing. Like, it's going to happen to me. That doesn't really show that everyone is going to get a rescue. They need to depend on themselves. And Snow White didn't depend on herself. She depended on others.
Yeah, and I agree. She did depend on others. But at the end of the day, this was actually a first Disney film. And for when it was made, a lot of the themes from that film are just based on what was happening in that time. So, it's a bit hard to like judge it when it's not really recent, because we have to take into account that some of the issues and some of the things that were shown in the film were things that actually just were normal then. And so I just think it's like always like a good teaching point, I think this is when adults should sit down with their kids and go, you can do this on your own. You don't need to depend on someone. You've got the resources. You can ask for help, but you should never depend on someone. And I think a lot of these bad role model points that we've both made are valid. But I don't think maybe in that time, maybe they wouldn't have been seen as so much as bad, because they would have been seen as normal.
We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a like, thumbs up, comment, subscription, everything. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our content, and make sure to share our Disney debate videos to any Disney fans you know of. Please leave us a comment below to let us know what other Disney debates you would like to see, or if there's any other specific Disney content you'd like us to do. Till next time, bye from all of us at the Debate Hut. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.